I am betting on Trump to win the elections. Trump will win because of power dynamics. And in this video, I will explain exactly why. Number 1. Gender power dynamics. What is Trump's largest voting bloc? Well, even ChatGPT knows it. It's non-college educated white voters. The highlight is non-college educated. And what does that have to do with gender power dynamics? Everything. It goes at the core of survival and reproduction. In recent decades, women have been gaining more and more power. That does not matter for the top man. As a matter of fact, it's good for the top man. However, the average and below average man are paying the costs. Women are earning more and more, and if we look at college degrees, women have long overtaken men, and the gap is only growing larger. In the red pill and the manosphere, some gurus refer to hypergamy. Hypergamy means that women prefer men who are more than they are. What does more mean? Well, it includes everything, but also, and especially for long term, it includes earning power. So these women who are empowering themselves now do not look up to men who do not have college degrees and who earn less than they do. So these non-college educated men are struggling to find a mate. Of course, exceptions always apply, but if you don't have a college degree, if you don't earn much, if you struggle to find jobs, if your jobs are low-paying one, if you're not very smart, if your future prospects are not that good, etc., then you better be a fucking hunk. But most guys are not hunks. That means that there is a lot of men, especially among the non-college educated one, who are struggling to find a woman. Now, how does that relate to politics and elections? Well, the Democratic Party is the party of empowered women far more than the Republican Party is. It starts from the top. Democrats have Kamala Harris, Republicans have Trump. But it also trickles down to their supporters. Democrats have Beyoncé and Taylor Swift, Trump has Kid Rock, the prince of rednecks. Of course, eventually most men and women still pair up, so even these non-college educated eventually find a woman. However, there is still the power component. These men still want to feel more than a woman. Even when they pair up, these men want to wear the pants at home. Every man wants to have a woman's respect. Every man wants to have their woman to look up to them. However, when these men are not more than their women, women do not look up to them. This has consequences both psychological and in concrete terms. A woman who thinks she is more, who thinks she is higher value than their man, is more likely to stray, more likely to leave that man, more likely to cuckold that man, etc. We could go on and on these tangents. However, the bottom line is this. The Democratic Party is the party of empowered women. The Republican Party is the party of old school, high power men who hold an advantage on women. It's the party that wants women to go back to the kitchen. They will never say that, but subconsciously, that's what the Trump's voters want, putting back women in their place, ideologically or more. Number 2, party power dynamics. I like Kamala, and in her role, she's high power, of course, but in her character and behavior, she is not. Tim Walz, more of the same. I look at that guy, and to me, it looks like a pudgy Santa Claus. No offense to the guy, he's a very good guy. Again, please, when I say these things, I don't mean in a judgmental, mean way. I'm just assessing things, behavior, characters, and people through the prism of power dynamics, okay? He's a fantastic guy, but he has the face and the behavior often of the too nice guy. If you compare him to his equivalent J.D. Vance, look at this guy, he's a motherfucker. Look at his eyes, piercing gaze, unwavering, strong, dominant. He's an asshole. but he's a high power asshole. That's the difference. I don't like him at all. I think his character is even worse than Trump, and the bar there is already not too high. The difference is that this guy is even slimier. He's more politician than Trump. But again, he's high power. I have noticed he has taken a leaf from Trump's book and he fucking never apologizes.
Clear though, you said you didn't know. Would you like to apologize to Caitlin Upton for?
He's talking about a woman who has struggled with suicidal thoughts, in part also because of his tweet. Look how he replies.
Posting that last night, given what you've now learned?
John, I'm not going to apologize for posting a joke, but
What a motherfucker, but this is also power. It's power more in the value-taking form, dominant asshole side, but this is power. And the problem with Democrats is that they do not represent the good high power. They don't have power at all. They are the too good, too nice guys. I see these dynamics every single day in our YouTube channel and the comments. We have several videos now about politics who are garnering hundreds of thousands of views, some of them even millions, and it's a common refrain. Now, of course, our audience skews already the Republicans because it's more men who want to be high power, dominant, masculine, win at life, etc., etc. However, even considering that, the amount of men who look up to Trump because of his power, because of his dominance, it's very telling in my opinion. These men do not see that one can be high power, and it's even more high power to be high power without being a pathological asshole narcissist. However, that's a different topic. Let's not go there now. The bottom line is that the Republicans are the party of power and dominance, and the Democrats are the party of the too nice guys men. And most men, especially the younger one, they will rather be the asshole than the too nice guy. That's why the Republican Party have an easier time at converting and getting votes from younger men, while the Democratic Party is struggling. This is also why the Democrats had an easier time with Bill Clinton and Barack Obama at the head of the ticket. That's because these men were higher power, so they helped bridge the power gap between the nice, collegial, friendly Democrats versus the higher power dominant Republicans. As much as I like and respect Kamala Harris, she's not that type of high power president. As a matter of fact, we could argue that in general it is very difficult, very challenging for a woman to be that high power without paying a cost. Hillary Clinton was much higher power than Kamala Harris. However, she was unlikable because she was a woman. Probably Hillary Clinton was also higher testosterone. She was obviously more aggressive. Her voice will go up and crack sometimes. I, as an open-minded guy, did not like Hillary Clinton because to me she was not feminine enough, and I'm open-minded. Now just imagine the average guy, how much they will dislike Hillary Clinton for being so masculine. This is a major struggle for the Democrats. They want to have a woman in charge eventually. However, it's difficult for a woman to be high power without paying a big cost. Not impossible. Kamala Harris is doing better than Clinton in my opinion, so that's the silver lining for the Democrats. However, there is still an advantage here for the Republicans when it comes to men and young men. And last but not least, racial power dynamics. I know today most people think that we are past the days of racial discrimination and racism. I think that's so naive. The main difference, okay, maybe we've done some steps, but to me the main difference is before it was open in the air and now it's more undercover. However, because it's more undercover, it may show even more in politics when it comes time to voting, because you cannot say openly so much, unless you're at a MAGA rally, there you can apparently, but you can still say that when you cast your ballot. I was personally impressed, a little bit saddened when I realized this in a video of ours actually. I put this video there because it was a great example for Power University, and there is a line where, I don't remember the actor, but he says, "I just hate N-word." The number of people there who approved of Clint Eastwood delivering that line, Clint Eastwood was the guy, it was astonishing. You are not alone, Clint. Look how many people reply. We all do, Clint. We all do. 422. Question is, who doesn't? Man, that's fuck. Racial animosity is still there, and what we said for women also applies here to men. Many men see the advancement of minority coming at their expense. Their empowerment is their loss. And frankly, it's not completely wrong, because society's status and power also function comparatively. Even if you're a low-power white guy, but if all blacks and all women are completely powerless, you will still do okay. But if you're a low-power guy, and now all the minorities are reaching your level and women are surpassing you, then good luck. How does this tie back to politics? Well, you know it. The Democrat Party is the party that welcomes and embraces minority. Sometimes people say even too much. I agree with that. They does come at a cost, DEI, etc., etc. And the Republican Party, they will never say openly, but deep down, most people know that the Republican Party is more pro-white. And if you don't like black people or minorities or colored people or immigrants, you vote Republicans. That's pretty fucking clear. Now, what does all of this mean? Well, the consequences are interesting. And one of the consequences is that it does not matter what Trump says or does, people will still vote for him. Sometimes they will vote him even more when he's losing. Think about it. If he's losing, who does he loses to? He loses to a woman, and to a black woman. That's exactly what Trump's most ardent supporters loathe. The more Kamala Harris beats their hero, the more Kamala Harris emasculates him at the debate, the more people will support Trump because she represents that empowered woman that threatens their survival and reproduction. The more Trump says racist bullshit of immigrants and Asian eating your dogs, the more people will like him. This is what some people will not understand. How can people like him despite all of this? It's because of this that they support him even more. These voters will talk about Trump having better policies and Kamala Harris not having policies, but that's not the reason, that's the excuse. Or people saying Kamala is not smart enough. Please. Kamala is 10 times smarter than Donald, and that's exactly what threatens the staunchest Trump supporters, that a woman is smarter, more competent, more capable than Trump. And then they are. So what's the solution to all of this? If we need to find a solution, I'm not even saying we need to find a solution. Things are the way they are. If Trump wins, we'll be fine anyway, especially as empowered man. It doesn't change much who the president is. I still think he's a bad person to lead a country for all the reasons we explained, and even more. This guy is a real threat to democracy, by the way. I think that most people are underestimating how much Trump wants to be a dictator and how hard he has already tried and how harder he may try. Anyway, that's an off topic. What can we do about it? Well, we don't do politics here so much. We discuss more individual empowerment. As a man, you just need to empower yourself, and then empowered women are an advantage for you. You do not fear them, you welcome them. Minorities empowering themselves, better, more allies for you. This is what we stand for, empowering men, so you don't need to be afraid of anything, but you can take advantage of any situation. Cheers, guys.